Welcome to this presentation of the Rotary Club of North Bethesda, Maryland, USA. Our club was established in 1974. We meet every Friday morning at 7:45 a.m., and we often invite guest speakers to give presentations on all kinds of interesting subjects. Please contact us through our website at nbrotary.org. And thanks for watching.
8 sharp, and we have our own Bob Sonawane, who's going to give us an update on the water project that we all worked so hard, but Bob spearheaded for us. So Bob, the floor is yours.
I may need help here for sharing the screen. I already sent it to Paul Iverson, to Steve, and to you, I believe, the presentation, but I have it here and I'll try to share it, okay?
So Paul, can you walk him through? There's a share content button at the top right, typically, but
if you don't mind, we can.
It might. It's a green button, Bob. If you just move your cursor around, you'll see.
Yeah, it's a screen, share screen.
Yeah, just click on that. There you go.
And then I go to my presentation, right?
That's correct.
Select the picture that shows your presentation.
Yeah, I have the presentation here.
And click on
clicking on that. Can you see it?
Yeah, looks good.
Good. Okay.
Yep.
So let me start very quickly, changing the subject from a tragic events around the world to something that we did good. Okay. So let me tell you a little anecdote here. I was in one of the parties here in Bethesda, actually, one of my friends' 50th anniversary, wedding anniversary. And I think that day somehow I had my jacket on, I had a pin, my Rotary pin. So somebody said, well, are you a Rotarian? I said, yes. And somebody was visiting from India, happened to be one of my friend's wives, a friend's sister, actually, and her husband. And so he was also Rotarian, and he came up with he had also his Rotary pin. So this is how I met Dr. Latte, who was a Rotarian from the Rotary Club in Pune downtown. And he said, well, would you be interested in talking to me about developing some project in India? I said, yep. And this was my second year after joining the Rotary Club here in North Bethesda. And it happened that he said, well, I'm going to be here only for 10 days and I'm going back. Can we meet? And we briefly met him. I said, I'm interested in the girls' education project because I was already gave him money, about $10,000 to a local nonprofit organization to support the girls' education. I'm seriously interested in the girls' education in India. And he said, well, we have a lot of projects going on there, but would you be interested in something which is helping the poor people of the drinking water? I said, well, whatever works, that's fine. Then he was gone, and then somebody else came in and he contacted me. His son is here in Bethesda, working for the World Bank, and then he contacted me. And I was thrilled to meet the gentleman, Dr. Naber. And I said, well, why not we write down this project? He came to my house, and literally within a couple of hours, based upon information he provided, we typed in the information. I said, I don't know how this works. So it helps to knowing people. My next door neighbor, Barry Thompson, just across from me then, I said, well, how does it work? And so he explained to me, and so he wrote the project. And that time the president was Carlos Satensky, and Carlos said, that's a great idea. We did a project in Ceylon, or in what is now Sri Lanka, and I'm very supportive of this. That the president then very supportive of this. I said, where is the money is going to come from? And they came up with a budget about something like total budget doing this about $70,000. I said, oh my God. So I was told then by Barry, he said, you need to raise about $13,000, which you won't believe it. Literally within 3 weeks, I contacted my Indian friends here in the local community. And I said, this is what I have in mind. Would you be supporting the project? Anywhere from $50 to $500, people gave me the checks actually to the foundation. And this is we started this project. The biggest support of this project was Carla Satensky and Bruce Fowler, and each one of them very generous. Carla gave $1,500. Bruce gave $1,500, and I gave mine about $2,000 because I thought I can do some make difference here. So thank you, Carla, wherever you are now. I'm sorry to say that, but Carla was a big supporter of this, and of course Bruce was. And the club gave some amount, a little amount, but within 3 to 4 weeks, I was able to raise about $13,000. And this is how we started this. We wrote a grant. I was surprised then Goldberg, I guess, he was a district governor. And I talked to him and he said, yep, we can do this. Of course, through Barry, I didn't know him. So the title of this grant is the development of watersheds to provide a sustainable drinking water to a small area called Borgar tribal area. That's a village, a Rotary Club of Pune downtown. And it was considered by the Rotary International or the global grant by humanitarian project to address the community needs and produce sustainable, measurable outcomes. And the area of focus, according to the Rotary International, is called water and sanitation and economic and community development. We started this in sometime in 2017 and came up with the date for completion by 2019. The cooperating organization in this case was the Maharashtra Arogya Mandal. Maharashtra is the name of the state, and I'll come back to that. It's a health organization, local health organization there in that area. They were the cooperating organization, nonprofit group. And then the president was Mr. Gupta. I just spoke to him about a few days back because I didn't know the slides, about the completion of the project. And he sent me about 20 different slides, okay? And I'll come back to that. So let me move on to the next. So in the context of this, I just wanted to give some brief, if some of you may have been to India or may not have been to India. India is a large country, but one of the, third of the size of the United States and 3 times more population, you can imagine. So the India has about 28, something like 29 states now. When I left the country in 1967, there are only something like 16 or 17 states. Now it's about 29 states and about 7 federally or the central government controls called union territories. So the state of Maharashtra, where this project is done, where I originally come from, is this here on the left-hand side, the western part of India, where you see Bombay or what is called Mumbai, okay? And so this is the left-hand side here of the western part of India, where the state of Maharashtra is. Maharashtra means a great nation. Don't ask me how, because the people who speak Marathi there, the language, what they call mother tongue of that particular state. As you may know or don't know, and I'm pretty sure you know, each state has a different language in India. It's surprising that how the country is still together. Mm-hmm. And the only way the country is together is 2 things, in my judgment, is the language, which most of the Indian languages came from, is Sanskrit. Even if you open your dictionary, you will see Indo-European or Indo-Sanskrit origin of a lot of English words or the German words. So there's a lot of that, okay? I won't go into the history of that part, okay? The Maharashtra is one of the richest state compared to country in general. It's poor, but it is one of the richest state where the Bombay is, or the Mumbai. They call it new name Mumbai, So that's where that's the state, okay? That's where the project was resided. And I'll move it down to this is the state of Maharashtra. It's like a state, one of the largest states. You can see the Mumbai on the left-hand side here. And Pune, you can see on the eastern part of that is where the Pune is. The old British name was Pune, and they changed about 20, 25 years back. They said they changed a lot of names, actually. Mumbai is one of them, from Bombay to Mumbai. So any colonial names and the English names have been changed to the local old thousands of years of history of some of these places. And so the Pune is changed to Pune. But the club is still Pune downtown. Okay, so I originally come from the next, you said the left, right-hand side, it's Ahmednagar. It's about 120 miles from there, that area, that's where I come from. Let me move on just to get this sense of this. And then you come to state. Each state of India has districts, and this is one of the Pune districts. The project is actually in this area. Pune is here, and the Ambegaon, that is one of the county, if you want to call it, or like a district, okay? And I'll move on here to just to show where the project is. And you can interrupt me anytime, okay? The Rotary Club Pune downtown has 79 members. I visited once, twice actually in my lifetime, when I visited India in 2017. That's the last time I went. And it is one of the most active club in the country. It is also the second oldest club in Pune. Pune is about a city, or Pune, it's called now, has about a population about 10 million people. It's a large metropolis, seventh largest city in India. Of course, most of the cities in India are big, okay? So the RCPD, I'm just making a short form, Rotary Club of Pune downtown, has about 22 community projects. I was looking at the website and I talked to the president, and this club is damn active. I've never seen something active club. And they have funded about 100 to 140 to $150,000, raised the funds and supported 22 projects in 21. The projects like eWest, smartphone distribution of eco-friendly sanitary napkin kits for ladies, and then blood donation drives, free cataract surgery, tree plantation, road safety, computers to local school, hygiene kits for poor women in slums, installation of oxygen plant in one of the hospitals there. And I'm saying, I was really impressed with this club when I visited. My God, this club is really rich, and as well as most of the people who are members of the club are filthy rich people. I can tell you that, because I visited a couple of them. They invited me to their house for a dinner. So that's the club, okay? So this grant, RCPA India project, I just give the background, is the grant number, and the global grant is about 70,000, plus or minus $70,250, okay? The region where this project is very hilly. The groundwater is not available. It's a normal drilling methods on the hills. They're very poor people, and they have to carry the water from the wells to the hilly part where they live. So they're very desperate villagers and forced to carry pails of water either from the bottom of the hills, from the water tank reservoirs, and so on. The RCPD project involved improving the availability of drinking water in 6 hamlets like local administrative areas, 6 hamlets in there, and total beneficiary population, which is very small, actually, small village, 2,500 people. So the idea was to increase the existing rainwater collection capacity by renovating and deepening the existing wells where the water comes from, and raising the water table. Basically, that was the whole idea. So that because even it rains there a lot, the water just goes down the hills and very rocky area, so it doesn't sink in that water too much into the ground. So that was the whole idea. So building trenches, building what they call bunding, and stop the erosion so that they can retain the water for increasing the water table. That was the whole idea, which I didn't know much about it, but I learned a lot by doing this project. So the next thing, they prepared the budget. The budget I mentioned to you, about 70 to 71,000. The RCPD Pune, they gave $6,300 to the project. There is Pune Smart City project, some organization, they gave 5,000. The NDRC, our district, gave $10,000, and the NDRC district, and I don't know, this is again 7620, give another 10,000. And NBRC, we actually, out of 13,000, we really, 13 or some number, we gave only 10,500. I forgot to mention, there's another club we joined later on, which I didn't know that, the club from New Zealand, Auckland, New Zealand, they gave $5,000. And the total, the Rotary International World Fund gave 30,000. So that's, in general, it's about $70,000 to $71,000 project, okay? The RCPD team, without going to the names of the people, the president was, I said, Dr. Gupta, Mr. Gupta. He's a businessman. He has a huge business about, what do you call it? The food processing plant, basically outside of Pune. And the person who really was instrumental in doing is Dr. Vikram Navar. He's a engineer. And so he was really the pusher for this project, and the rest of the names I wouldn't read. From, as I mentioned, the wells not repaired, they were kind of very old wells and not maintained by the village administration. As you probably know or don't know, India has a traditional history that every village, every town has elected bodies. In a small village, it's called 5 people are elected, and somebody becomes the head of that, and they basically try to solve the disputes, local disputes, both the civil disputes and the criminal disputes. It's a very democratic way of doing it. And this has been going on for years before the British and before the Mughal Empire and all that. It has a very democratic way of running the administration within the village. And very little help from the state government or the local government. They elect the people and solve their own problems, basically at the local level. So the water level has decreased over the years, and so the village administration, due to lack of funds, didn't do anything is to maintain even the wells and so on. So without going into the details, and then they volunteer, the local people, the villagers volunteer in digging the areas and helping the contractors to do some of the work. So they were fully devoted to doing this kind of work. And that's how they, without any money, they contributed to the project, what I understand. So the beginning, what the RC, the Rotary International Grant Management structure, the way it is written, is to the RC Pune downtown, that is the Rotary Club Pune downtown, has 3 responsibilities, basically: plan, budget, execute the entire project, to provide the technical inputs, oversight, and so on. And the entire grant managed by the Rotary Club of Pune downtown with the help of the local nonprofit group. Our responsibility is to ensure the timely completion of the project. So when the project was going on, I was in monthly basis, has to have a conference call with the president and a couple of other people who were managing the project to make sure everything is in place, and provide necessary share of the funds, which we did, and coordinate with the downtown Pune for technical inputs. I have no knowledge. I learn a lot, just giving some technical of my viewpoint, but I really didn't have much to contribute because I'm not an engineer or a construction type person, okay? So the final project report on funds management reviewed by the office, the Rotary International office in New Delhi, which is the country office, and also by the Rotary International Global Grant people here in Evanston, Illinois, and they certified the project is completed. Grant officially closed on March 24, 2021. As I said, there were 20 some odd number of pictures Mr. Gupta sent me, but I'm only going to show you few of them here. These are some of the people when they visited. The picture is not that clear, but I got it and I downloaded it from the WhatsApp, So you see on the middle here, this is the president here. I don't know whether you can see it. And the next person is Nabar, who was involved. And these are the members of the club who visited that particular area, the team of Rotaries. They have a team, all of them went and initiated the project. The next is kind of construction equipment that the contractor, they selected 2 contractors and they did, I don't know, don't ask me what this construction equipment is, but that's one of the pictures that I got from him. This is how they try to build the walls around so that the water can be retained in the pits. And that's one of the pictures that I got it from him. And the good part, which I love it, this part here, if you see on the right-hand side, which basically says who supported the project, not by names, and it goes to the funding organization's names, and it's both in English on the top and the local language in the second part of this sign here. So we are recognized, and that will remain there forever. That's in concrete. You can see that sign. And then the next here, you can see how the water actually was collected in the area where they dig it out, and made like a pits, and where the water is retained there. And that is used for drinking water and for even agricultural area where there are fruit trees are grown in that hilly area. There's another one. This is one of the old well. They restored one of the wells. I don't know whether you know well water. This is open wells, not like what we have here, in this country. And so this is one of the wells they repair basically. And with the sign, I've seen photos with several signs like this, which is the good part that who supported the project. And with this, so there's another sign you can send. This one you can probably read. The repairing and capacity enhancement of the well water in village of Kalwadi, which is near Borgar area, one of the hamlet. And it says Rotary Club of Pune, downtown India, 3131. Rotary Club of North Bethesda, 7620. Rotary Club of, I don't know, but I can't read. Rotary Club of Somerville, Auckland, New Zealand. They supported also. And then some of the Rotary Club gave some small amount of money, the local ones. Their names are also on this particular sign. And I think I'll stop here. If you have any questions, I'll appreciate that, entertaining questions for the next 6-7 minutes.
Wonderful.
Any questions?
I have a question. Bob,
Go ahead. Yeah.
Bob, this project about agriculture water, not drinking water, right?
Well, it's both. Actually, the well, one of the well I showed you was a drinking water well, and the water, like a, I don't know what the right word is, like a water tank, not like built up water tank, but in the groundwater where the water is stored, that is used for agricultural purposes, where they put the electrical pump and then they carry the electrical pump by using the electrical pumps, then they distribute the water to the fruit trees.
With this time, with humanitarian help, I found something what I didn't know. It's existing some kind of small tablets, and that recommended to put in the water, make, like you have a glass of something in water and make it drinkable, because it's a kill all, some virus, I don't know what it is. So I think, if you want to continue, like we did in Sri Lanka, next year, we send them some support. Maybe that can be interesting in this chemical. I can provide information about what kind of tablet make a water drinkable.
Okay.
Maybe you know what it is, but I can provide information.
Okay, thank you.
Bob, this is
Yes,
Ron.
Yeah.
My question is, excuse my ignorance, but I didn't see it in the magazine. Was this written up in the Rotarian magazine?
No, it was not. Actually, you won't be surprised. I got an email from, I don't know, the person from Rotary International yesterday saying, Bob, will you be writing a survey? Can you answer some of the survey questions on this particular project? Well, I have not opened. I saw the name, but I have not done it yet. I think it would be a good idea for me or with the help with maybe somebody else, is to write this along with the Indian counterpart, the Rotary clubs, to write as a, and it's a, make it a showcase project. Actually, is a small project relatively, but I think this was very successful. There was absolutely no queries from the people who audit this kind of finances or any of that stuff. Actually, they didn't spend all the money. I think about $5,000 or $10,000 they returned back to the Rotary International, because they were able to manage everything what they wanted to do within the budget provided. So I'm intending to write something. I don't know. I've never done this to Rotary International magazine. Probably we could write something about it. And that must give some visibility to our club.
That'd be great.
That will be
I
great.
think
Thank
that would be wonderful. 'Cause
Yeah.
I'm sure
that's
that
beautiful publicity, especially that they returned $10,000 of the international funds. I think that's terrific.
Yeah. They went back to the global grant project, you know.
I think Kevin and I would be willing to help go over what you write and help you
wonderful.
write something that would be suitable.
Wonderful.
What I would intend to do is to talk Mr. Gupta and Mr. Nabar, who are the member there, and one other person, and Dr. Latte, who gave us a talk about 2 or 3 years back to our club, is to ask them to write the first draft. And because they have the good pictures, I had 20 pictures, but it didn't come through very well on the WhatsApp in all of them, but some of them are pretty good, the one which I selected, you know. So I think we could write something about this project in the Rotary International magazine.
Bob, you mentioned this is a drinking water project. Do they purify the water at all, or have you noticed any pollution?
Tell you honestly, answer is no. Okay. But literally, I know it because I came from a not as that poor village, and they still have the problems. You know, they filter it, but not in a systematic way. You know, this is like individual family going to the well, fetching the water, and then carry it on their shoulder, and then they clear it depending upon whether you're poor or whether a little well-to-do. But this is a serious problem. Water contamination is a serious problem in India, except in the cities where the water is really purified, you know, and that kind of stuff. But in villages, no.
Bob, I really appreciate your presentation, and I'm very interested in it because, as you know, I'm trying to develop this solar cooker project, and I need to learn the ropes of how to put together proposals and the financing and all that.
Well, it's not difficult. As I said, Mr. Nabar, Dr. Nabar, who came to my place, I didn't know the gentleman at all. I said, give the information, and we just filled out the form together. And then it was sent by to people, to a couple of reviews, like Barry reviewed it. Barry Thompson was pretty good in this. And a couple of other people reviewed it. Dr. Bruce Fowler reviewed it. Carla said, I don't understand this technical, construction stuff. So we internally reviewed it, and it went through. I was really surprised. I was not hoping that it would get through. But I used to say, what's the name? Barry, not Barry. Yeah, the district governor. Goldberg, I think it's
Martin.
Yeah. And he was very enthusiastic.
Goldenberg.
Yeah, correct. So he was, when I showed him, I said, well, do you have any comment or anything on the project proposal? And he said, he just gave me a few comments. He said, this is what you need to do. This is what and he was very supportive. I think you need a support from our club itself. The second thing, you need support from the district. And I think what I found out is basically it's automatic as long as you meet. The Rotary International has a lot of money. They give this kind of projects very high priority, as you probably know.
Right. And, the pictures that you showed here, they all show how sunny this region of the country is.
Yeah.
Clear skies, and that's suitable for solar power, which could be used to sterilize the water. pasteurized water. So
I'm very supportive of the project that
combination.
you would like to do, Paul. And Bruce is very interested in doing that. So we'll have to raise funds, and I can raise some funds for this project. I know that if our club doesn't have that much money in our foundation, so I can help in raising the funds if it's, and we can probably sometime in this, when the weather gets better, maybe we can just get together and write it.
Yeah, thank you. I think we'll plan on that sometime. And I'm just to remind everybody about the Turf Valley meeting. The district meeting is coming up in April, and you should have seen some kind of announcements about that. Please consider attending that. It's a 2-day event. Hopefully, if it's nice weather in April, we'll be able to go out and see. I can demonstrate the solar cookers, or we can have some fun together. So looking forward to that.
This is Bruce. Could I just jump in for a quick second about writing grants? I used to do it for a living. The idea is, though, that one of the things that, right now our district governor, Geeta, is from India, and I'm sure she would resonate with anything we wanted to do. But I think Paul's idea of leapfrogging ahead and using the solar cooker to clean up water from this project would resonate very well with her. That's all I wanted to say, and I'll help you any way I can.
Thank you, Bruce.
Any other questions?
All right.
Please?
I want to end the meeting there. Bob, thank you for the wonderful talk and updating us on, our project. And you did a great job spearheading that. It's always nice to see what effect we can have as our little club and the impact and changes we can make in the world.